What's up guys, Go Roadie Gaming here, live streaming from Transport Fever 2. This is my new map I just completed. It's called Los Angeles to San Diego. Pretty self-explanatory. So, today's a test. We're going to see how this map works. I'm pretty sure I'm done with it. I might make a few little tweaks, but yeah, overall happy with how it turned out. And I think you guys are too. So let's get into it. So we're going to start off with some passenger trains here. We're going to start off with the Pacific Surfliner. Got a lot of mods in here. So we're going to see if we can dig some of these things out. So let's go to passenger. Should have the Surfliner cars in here. There they are. Let's just start with 5 for now. Bye. I already have all the routes set up for both freight and passenger. And they're pretty self-explanatory. So we got Metrolink right here, Amtrak, Coaster, all the different Metrolink lines. There's a whole lot. So let's run this train. Let's see what it does. This map starts in 1995. So it's not completely modern, so you have time. I'll give you a little tour as this thing takes off. We got the SP 4th Street Yard here next to the LA River. It's actually located here in real life, along with plenty of industries. As you can see, even made a nice detailed old garage car shop setup. Got industry serves back here, industry right here. Got a couple old tracks that are no longer being served. Alright, so we got that one going. Let's get another one going, huh? Alright, let's go with Metrolink now. Metro. 2 variants. Not showing my Metrolink unit on here. I wonder if the year isn't ready yet. Alright, let's fly down to San Diego and see if we can get some coasters going. Real quick though, we got the Port of Long Beach right here. Pretty small depiction of it. I did what I could. I was trying to get the terrain realistic and fit in as many cities as I could, like the real thing. I even included Catalina Island. We got an oil rig out here. So you have to use everything, not just railroads. Ships, trucks, planes, buses, trains, all that good stuff. All the way out here in the middle of nowhere is our imports and exports from China. Let's go down to San Diego. San Diego's what I'm most pleased about with this map. We got downtown San Diego right here. We got the USS Midway, which is a museum. I've been to it many times. Awesome place. Retired aircraft carrier. There's another maritime museum with a bunch of old ships. And there's a lot of yachts from all the billionaires that come into San Diego. Right here we got Santa Fe San Diego Yard. Now it's 1995, so it's technically BNSF. So we don't have, there's no coaster power modded for this game yet, which is a sad thing. So I think what we'll have to do is we might have to go for some BN power. I'm going to kind of pick through it and see which one will look the best. We got no GP40s for BN. Let's use a nice white SD40. That'll look good. Got our coaster cars. Yeah, it looks a little jank, but what are you gonna do? Go down here. I tried to color coordinate them as well. Green for coaster. Even though it's really not a green, but hey, who's paying attention, you know? Don't got any sound coming out of her. I forgot to do the engine mod. I think I gotta click that in. Silly me. Got Old Town San Diego even in the mix here. It's basically an old Spanish, the original Spanish settlement of San Diego. Couldn't find any old Spanish buildings, so I went with the Western mod. Alright, let's get some freight going. Where does our auto rack train run to? There's a lot of moving parts. When you step into the freight world, you really got to get everything moving quickly, or else nothing's going to work. So let's do some obvious first. We'll run some trains. Just a quick mention. This SPGP40X is my first locomotive mod. I just came out with it. It's available in the workshop. Came out really well. I'm going to be reskinning a bunch of locomotives in the future. So keep an eye out for that. Got some Dash 9s. Let's go with some classic. Yeah, we'll go with some Dash 9s. Why not? And why not some of these? So we got the BNSF now technically, so let's add some BNSF units. Now freight trains, you can't reach mega level yet, so this will be a test. Let's see what she does. So San Bernardino sub. So the San Bernardino sub, if we go here, San Bernardino sub goes off this way and it ends just past Corona. Alright, we need some ships. Let's get some ships going. That's the one thing I didn't route was these ships. Capacity, let's see the different capacity of these things. Yeah, we gotta go for that. Look at that capacity, man. It's a pretty simple line right here. Look at the ocean floor from all my excavating. Huh. And we'll have them going right there. Come on, game, you can do it. Computer's revving up. Stand by. Every once in a while my computer has an issue with routing and stuff, so I don't know what the deal is with that. What do you mean you can't get to it? It's a wide open ocean, man. That's a bunch of bull. Alright, let's try going here. Really? Terminals. Let's go to Terminal 3 and see if that helps. No. That's weird. It's wide open ocean. Maybe this port over here doesn't have a wide enough entry for it? Let's try. Terminals, yeah, it's in one. Hello. Well, let's make a bigger one real quick, because the size of that ship might be the issue. Like so. Landing. So let's try changing this number 2. There it is. Alright, we're in business now. We're in business. Looks like we already got some passengers waiting in LA. That's nice. That's nice. We already got some traffic here. Gotta love Los Angeles. It's like sitting in traffic. It's a place for you. Ah, a little sneak peek. Reskinning some Santa Fe units. For some reason, it's going over the other mods. If anybody knows the reason behind that, please comment below. It seems to be an issue. So, as you can see, I haven't finished one side yet. But here are some SP C44-9Ws that I'm currently working on. They look pretty nice. We'll just leave that there for laughs. Alright, let's see. A lot of things going on here, and I don't remember exactly how it all works. So, we'll do here. Buy some vehicles. We'll have a train run down to the port. Or bonnet. Oh, it's because I haven't changed the name yet, probably. So we're gonna have some SD40s going down the port for us, picking up some freight. Be like a little hauler is what I like to call them. Nothing crazy. We'll buy that. Let's route it. Alright, let's go out towards Arlington. Do we have anything being produced over here yet? Yep. Now that we did that train, we're starting to see some production. So Arlington's a city just before Riverside. This is the 91 freeway right here. Got Corona. Got a little yard here in Corona, like there is in real life. Let's go back to the main city here. We got some more stuff we need to start doing. Some blue bonnets. Alright, let's get some SP stuff going here. This is the SP's 4th Street yard. I try to make all my routes realistic, guys, so signaling, how I map the routes, it's all done as realistic as I can possibly do. So we'll just need a single unit for this one. Actually, let's go reverse. This is how they typically would use them. We just need a couple box cars. We'll mix it up. I like having some variety. You never know what you're gonna get out there in the real world. Yep. A lot of cool mods out there for when it comes to freight cars, so that's cool to see. So we'll buy that. This is the SP 4th Street local. So he delivers to this industry way back here. He's got to go all the way around, and then this one right up front. We also got a couple abandoned industries right here. Or I should say one abandoned industry. Thought this looked kind of cool. These pretty much all look like this down there now, sadly. So definitely not as much going as there used to be. So now we need a hauler from the port to here, so that this local can start delivering some freight. Let's go to diesel. Let's see what we got here. I think we'll use some, for the heck of it, we'll use some SD9s for the hauler. Oh, in 95, there were still some SD9s out there. Not too many. They're really at the end of their life. So, go to no and C. Okay, so this is going to go down to the port, and it's going to be a manifest train, so we're going to need a nice mix of stuff. So we'll put some high cubes up there up front. Pretty common for boxcars to be up front. A couple of these. Yeah, let's go with one. I like these 60 footers. They're pretty cool. Try to mix up the railroads a bit like they are on the real thing. Alright. What else do we need? Yeah, why not? Let's use some trash cars. There's a lot of litter down there in LA, to say the least. Some center beams, can never go wrong with some center beams. Let's go with some Gons. And then I think we have everything covered pretty well, except for some tank cars. Go some Conrail ones. Alright. So this would be the SPLA hauler. So it goes down the port. So he's waiting for this thing to come out. You'll notice some of these units don't have any sound coming from them. It's because I forgot to do the mods for those sounds, so my apologies. Next time everything will be good. Nice. Alright. So over here we got the Alameda corridor, which actually didn't exist in 1995, but I figured I might as well put it in because the city growth is going to be hard to change that. For those of you that just joined, we're in the LA region. This is my new map. Los Angeles to San Diego, not out yet on the workshop, but will be coming out either later today or Sunday. Just depends. We'll see. Or maybe even Saturday evening. I don't know. So we got the Alameda corridor right here that runs down. We have an SP main line that runs down, and then we have a branch line that runs through here all the way to Carson. We got this plastics facility, and then we have a BNSF branch line that'll serve downtown LA. I think this is a pretty cool scene right here, down here by the LA River. In the thick of it, you have a lot of bridges overlapping each other, whether it be rail or otherwise. Let's get a screenshot of that, huh? Bam! It's nice. Alright, what else do we need to do? We need to get Metrolink going. We don't have any Metrolink units, unfortunately, so we'll have to make do for now. What looks like the most like Metrolink? White unit preferably. See, can we pick white? No, we can't. Let's go with this Conrail. That'll look pretty cool. Where am I going? Metrolink, blam, blam, blam. Yeah, it actually fits pretty good. So, let's see what we got for Metrolink. Orange County line, let's go there. That runs down to Oceanside. This thing likes to freeze up. Oh, and it crashed. Nice. Let's jump back in there. We'll give it a few minutes. You gotta love when that happens. It's a big map though. And I don't have like an amazing computer, so it happens. Typically though, it'll load back up. This happens to me when we get some big maps going. If there's any future maps you would like to see, specific, say, railroad routes, throw them into the chat. I'm making a list of different things I want to do. If you have any real-life railroad questions, throw those into the chat. I'm a former Union Pacific conductor, so ask me whatever about the railroad, and hopefully I can give you the answer to it. I'm not a know-it-all, so... But I have been a railroader before. Let's see here. I got a list of things that I needed to do for this map. And I think I got everything. So this map's pretty much ready to go. Just gotta get the mods going on it. All that good stuff. So we'll see what goes on. Alright, let's see if this game will let us do our thing. Hey, it did it, just barely. Alright, we're back in business. Yeah, the Conrail actually looks pretty good with the Metrolink. Not upset at that. Plenty of power for it, that's for sure. What do we got here? 34. I might need another Amtrak. Let's go down to San Diego and create a northbound Amtrak. Hopefully it doesn't crash, huh? This game's definitely having a hard time. The Super Chief. Alright, all the way to the top here. Let's go with 5. Hey, did it easy peasy. How's our ships doing? I feel like it's gonna be tough. Got a good amount of freight coming in. Got one all the way out there. Let's get another one going. Alright, so this game just seems to have an issue with the first time that it needs to get going. So it's looking pretty good now though. Got our Santa Fe hauler. Let's do the auto train. San Diego auto train. I think we're going to use some old AMD power for this. I like these BNSF, or BNSF, geez. I like these BN white faces. Definitely one of my favorites for sure. What else we got? Maybe throw in there an older BN unit. That should be good. Now let's go to the cargo side. Got the auto racks right here. Let's make a 3,000 footer and see how that goes. Not sure what the length of the trains can be yet, so go down here to BNSF San Diego Auto Train and put in parentheses auto racks. The reason why I did that is because they run auto trains down there, so it's not just for the heck of it. Like I said, I tried to make it realistic. Here's a good example of that. I'd love to do some reskins on these SD40s, but I was having a transparent files issue. Just typically with Transport Fever 1 mods has that issue, so I'm not sure why it was having that issue. We got our half Santa Fe, half SP Dash 9s right here. It's because I'm currently working on them. That's pretty great, huh? Let's see what we got going on down here at the station. Not a whole lot, so we're just getting going. That's why we need to kind of interconnect everything the best we can. Let's see, what else can we start running? Everything kind of revolves around the port like in real life, so that's kind of the reason why there's not a whole lot going on at the moment. So I think what I'll do here to kind of speed things up for the future, utilize some signals. You wouldn't have signals here in real life, but if we don't, then the train stops really far away. Here's a pretty cool scene. Kind of going through the back streets right here. It wouldn't be going that fast, but hey, whatever. What are you gonna do? This is how they ran before the Alameda corridor, and that's why they built the Alameda corridors, because they're having so many issues running right through town. So there you go. I think for now we're going to downsize this. Because let's face it, we don't really have any cargo in yet. So let's just make it a little smaller, get some money back. Our bread and butter right now is going to be the passenger trains. Let's see how things are rolling over here. Got our auto train coming out. Interested to see, this is kind of be my test train, because the San Diego route is a single track with sidings, and the sidings aren't very long, so we'll see how they work out. So the reason why we got mixed powers, like I said earlier, if you've been watching, it's 1995. The Santa Fe and the BN just merged, so which gives us the ability to use both railroads' power. Here's a cool little detail. I tried adding the rock. They have these little rock barriers along the coast in case there's high seas to protect the rail line. So the rail line actually runs on down by the beach through here, being San Clemente. And yeah, so we got a nice depiction of that. We got one rider. We're in business. Pretty cool view, huh? We don't have any Metrolink power because of the year. So, there you go. Got the Conrail. So over here we got the, this is a little yard that both Metrolink and Coaster share. This section right here. It's a servicing facility. There's a big building, but I couldn't squeeze it in. They're both owned by different counties, so they're not privately owned, so they share facilities here. Right here we got the BNSF's Oceanside Manifest Yard. It's a little 3 or 4 track yard meant to serve Camp Pendleton, which I built over there, and the Escondido branch, which I built as well. Let's go check out Camp Pendleton. Marine Corps camp. Did my best to try to make it look like a military installation, military base. So I put a city here because there is a city there. Where all of our Marine Corps folks live. So we got a couple different depots. There's actually a little branch line that runs up here, not used anymore, but there was one, so I kind of recreated that. Try to make some barracks or something that looks like use some of the older freight trucks because they do look like some World War II era troop transports. So I thought that was cool. So just trying to make it and specified. So there we go, Metrolink across these bays. This route from here on out down to San Diego consists of the real bays, so it's kind of cool. They dip down and then they climb back out, just like they do in real life, so it's pretty neat. So this is where the Metrolink comes to an end here in Oceanside. And then this is where the coaster begins. Right here we got the Escondido branch line going out. We'll go check that out real quick. Zigzags its way through a valley. This is nothing but city now, so. Oh no, what's going on? Let's go check it out. Why do you need to go that way, bub? Let's pause this. Oh, I made a boo-boo. There we go. A lot of these, you need one-way signals so that they don't get confused, I guess, on those crossovers. I forgot. Plain and simple. Let's get another boat going, another ship. Need as many of these things going back and forth as possible because they got a long way. So that one's coming in. Do we got one leaving? No, we don't. They're taking years to get there. Alright, looks like we got the first coaster coming up. Majority of these people are siding with Amtrak so far. So. Oh, there's our surfliner, I should say. So he already went down. Oh, this is our northbound, I should say. So he hasn't made a full trip yet. Very realistic bells on these things. Pretty neat. We got the power plant here in Carlsbad. Looks like the city's gonna overtake it. I wish some of these buildings would cause nothing else to be built there, but I guess they didn't program that into the mod. So back there was Carlsbad, Encinitas. Come up to Solana Beach. This station is in the ground, so hence this. So I had to make sure I made that. Would have been too steep of a grade to come out of this bay to the top and then back down over here by Del Mar. So as you can see, we've barely been playing, and this is already starting to fill out like it is in the modern day. So, got Delmar Heights. This is a pretty neat location. There's a steep grade that comes out of this bay right here. Got Sorrento Valley. And we got our coaster. Silent, stealthy. Up here, there's actually, I think this is called the Sorrento grade. I'm not sure, but very steep, 3%. But it's very short. It's only maybe 3 or 4 miles to the top here. Then we've got a little branch line that goes to some industries in Mira Mesa, Mortmar. This is the Mortmar Marine Corps Airport. Coming down in here, there's San Diego. Got Qualcomm. I don't even think that's there anymore. But in 95 it was. We got the International Airport. I haven't even gotten the planes going yet. Got downtown San Diego. This is my favorite part of the map. Love coming down to San Diego. Just overall a good city to visit. Not a big fan of big cities, but I'm down with San Diego. USS Midway. It's a real museum there. Retired aircraft carrier. Go check it out sometime. Pretty awesome. Coronado Island with the Coronado military base. Get the Coronado Bridge. Pretty sweet to see some cars going over it. I think we need another screenshot like this. That's pretty nice. Yeah. Then there's a bunch of shipyards for building, scrapping, whether it be military or commercial, all sorts of stuff. So we already got some goods coming out of here. This is supposed to depict the auto facility down in San Diego. It's just south of it in real life. So, yep, everything's looking good. All these cities are starting to interconnect. Let's get another coaster going. We need frequency with these things. So this time, let's use this little crappy GP38. Don't got any coaster power, like I've said a few times. Got 5 cars. Blam, blam. Green for coaster. Let's see what this one comes out as. Ah, I knew it. Another reskin I'm working on. Sneak peek. What do you guys think? Gotta go SP, man. Anglo-Saxon. Hi, former train driver from England here. Right on, man. How's it going? How's England? Haven't been to England before, but I've been to Scotland, and I stayed the night in Dublin one time. If England is anything like the countryside of those two places, beautiful place, man. What did you drive there in England? Were you a passenger, freight? I know freight's not as big of a thing as it is here in the States. Thank you, nice looking map. Yeah, just finished it up. It'll be on the workshop, hopefully by the end of today or tomorrow. Tried to build as realistic as I could. I used to live in Southern California, so I've spent plenty of time in these areas, so that's how I was able to build this along with Google Maps. Sunny and cold, yeah. I live in Montana, so it's very much the same. We're almost in May, and it's 50 degrees outside and been pouring rain, so. Passenger, diesel, and electric, right on. Alright, we got our Santa Fe autos coming through here. Need to pay attention to this one to see how the siding lengths do. I remember when I was a kid, we would work the San Diego County Fair, which is located here in Del Mar. I wish there was a fair mod, or else I would have added it. But anyways, there's a horse racing track, very famous right here. And I remember sitting in the stands, and about 5, 6 o'clock in the evening, you'd see this auto train roll by going south, typically. So that was kind of cool. Coming in the Solana Beach, the station is actually in the ground like this. So that's why it looks like that. So let's see if it fits. Oh no, it's not gonna fit. Siding length, train. Alright, good to know. So, if I'm gonna run some manifest trains down here, it can't be very long. Could always double track it though if I want. I like to try to keep the route original to how it was for at least a little bit, so. There is a fair mod. Okay, I'll have to look a little harder this next time. So it's kind of cool when you're actually here in Del Mar. If you look at a freight train, you can actually see the different terrains throughout the train, especially the auto train. If you ever get a chance, because it's constantly dipping out in and out of these valleys, so it just looks really neat. It'd probably be a pretty hard route to be an engineer on, because you're constantly dealing with the train stretching out and bunching up, stretching out, bunching up, so you're probably setting a lot of air and just constantly trying to modulate it, keep it smooth. What part of England are you from? Anglo-Saxon? Actually grew up with neighbors that they lived in a small town outside of London. I forget the name, but great people. They were our neighbors for probably like 12 years. Became good friends with them. Tell you what, it takes a while to autosave with a map with this much stuff on it. Near Manchester. Right on. I really wanted to go to, the last time I was in Europe was right before all the BS in 2020. So we literally left for Europe on January 1st, and I wanted to make it over to England because I wanted to go to that tank museum in southern England for the military tanks and stuff. We saw a lot of World War II locations, so I thought that'd be cool to see some of the World War II equipment, but never got a chance, unfortunately, but hopefully someday. Half German, half English. Oh, cool. Seems like the UK is pretty diverse. I know when I was in Scotland, there was a lot of Italian places, um, Polish, all sorts of different stuff. Pretty neat. So we got our soon coming out on the workshop SP GP38 reskin. I need to figure out, my reskins are replacing the actual mods, even though it's a separate mod. Does anybody know how to prevent that? I had one complaint about that on the workshop, and I'd like to figure it out. So we got our auto racks coming up the grade. So look pretty cool. I'll just stay here, seeing this thing sneak around. Forget the official name for this grade, but it's steep. No doubt about that. And it's tight too. A lot of tight curves and all that good stuff. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Let's see. Yeah, so this one's just a hair over 3,000 feet. Alright, so that's good to know for future freight trains. It'll fit into that siding, no problem. Alright, let's go back up to LA and see what's going on up there. Another thing to note is you have all these cities that are kind of on the outskirts of the coast. These are all real cities and they're real locations with, I would say, very accurate landscapes, topographical maps, mapping, however you want to say it, surveying. So all these towns, they could all use trucks to bring cargo. You could always use the railroad if you really wanted to. If you want to keep it realistic, though, the railroad's already laid realistically. Take buses. I mean, I'm not doing anything right now, and we're already getting some decent passengers going on the trains. Oh wow, we even got some passengers in Old Town. How about that? Any derailments in real life? No, luckily not. Almost had a few, but I was able to realize it before it was too late. Nope. My main route in real life on the Union Pacific was the Cajon Pass, so had some doozies coming down the Cajon Pass a few times, but we never ended up in a pile at the bottom of the hill, so can't complain too much. Didn't face, I mean, there's adversity, but nothing crazy. Got shot at a couple times, whatever. Got San Clemente, we got some people starting to line up here. Hey, it even says it on there. It's kind of hard to read, but right on. This station is single track, so any fatalities? No. I must almost hit, geez, a lot of people. And tell you what, every time you could see it coming with a lot of them, because a lot of it you could tell they were suicidal, unfortunately. So, um, you know, I don't. You could just kind of tell, at least I can, by people's demeanors when they're near the tracks, what they're doing. Almost had a few of those, but man, I just said a prayer every time, and it worked. So they never made the choice, luckily. 10-year-old with the BB gun, yeah. That's funny. I was riding on the side of a hopper, and I had these gangbangers pull up and unload a full clip on me. Luckily, they were a bad shot, too. Got my SPSF Mega Paint Scheme mod right here. Unfinished locomotive. I'm working on it. Need to figure out why it's skinning over the original mod, though. Very weird. Cut him in half. Yeah, that's no good. Yep, you just never know, man. Especially where I worked in the Los Angeles service unit, so, you know, it was in one of the mega populated cities of the world, or areas of the world, I should say. So you had a lot of, just a lot of people all the time. A lot of cars, a lot of people on foot, a lot of homeless. So, you know, I live in Montana now, and man, it would be nice to live up here, because, I should say to work up here. So you definitely wouldn't get as many of that going on. Finally got some ships carrying some cargoes, taking a minute. Let's see, how much do we have right now? That doesn't warrant another ship yet. When it starts to get up there, then we'll order up another ship. Yeah, there's a lot of horror stories from people I worked with. And I'm not upset at all that I didn't have anything like that. 'Cause that's no fun. Even if it's their choice, you know, it's sad that somebody would get in that state of mind to want to go out in front of a train. It's not good, to say the least. But yeah, I'd say I had a pretty decent time at the railroad. Nothing crazy. Wow, 64. Yeah, it's already rolling pretty good. Yeah, Anglo-Saxon, if you haven't seen my stuff before, I suggest you do. I've done videos on my other maps. I think you would really enjoy my Southern California Megalomaniac map. It's basically covers this section, San Clemente, but then everything east and north by a long ways. So much more spread out like in real life as well. So I would check out that. That's on the workshop, and I got a video on that on our channel. Got a Tehachapi loop map if you're familiar with U.S. railroading, very popular routes. Got that from Bakersfield to Mojave. Got quite a bit of stuff now, and a lot more to make as well. So we'll see how it goes. Another example of industries building on placed buildings. Not sure why, but whatever. Just waiting for everything to catch up here. We really need some ships to come in, but that's taking ages. Let's check on our auto train. I want to make sure that goes smoothly down there because there's quite a bit of stuff for that thing to kind of avoid. Oh, looks like it's already coming back out. Nice. Meep, meep. Hey, got some new units. Yip-de-doo. Since we're in 96, let's pause it. I kind of want to stay in here for a bit. So he's waiting. I want to change some of the stations too. Give ourselves some room. And why can't I do that? That might be why. Spread everything out, you know. We got tracks. Let's use them. So now we're loaded up. 204 out of 775. That's pretty good. We got another one. Here again, huh? Huh. Why'd you switch tracks? I really want to know. This train was all the way to the right before. And now he's not. Huh. Well, let's just do this then. Yes. Alright. There we go. Problem solved. Really good detail. I appreciate it. Yeah, I put in a good week on this thing. Several hours a day. Let's see. I did Clapmere Junction, London. Oh, 300 hours plus the work gone. Yeah. That's how you go bald right there. Pull out all the rest of that hair. Yeah, that stuff drives me nuts too. It's one thing I do like about this game is it auto saves a lot, but at the same time it annoys the crap out of me. Special station mod. I'm not sure if it's called the special station mod, but it's basically just track. So that's how I'm able to build the realistic rail yards. So that's nice. It's made by a German guy, so a lot of it's in German. And I don't know German. Just gonna throw that out there. But yeah. Alright, we need to get another metro going. Diesel. Looks like we still gotta go with Conrail. See if it crashes this time again. Passenger, derp-de-derp. If you guys wouldn't mind hitting that like button. Mean a lot. Any kind of comments, good or bad, reviews of this. You know, this map isn't out yet, so I can always tweak some things if you have some suggestions. Let's see, the purple. Yeah, let's go with purple. That would be the IE/OC line Metrolink. So the IE means Inland Empire to Orange County. So that's what we're dealing with here. So. Okay, so let's buy it, and then we'll do the purple line. You do, yeah, I forgot. You're half German, my apologies. Special station. I don't think it's the special station mod. It might be, but this is just one I found because I want to try to build, you know, American style freight yards. And this seemed to do the trick, so. It's not too hard to find. It's just a picture of like a straight piece of track, and then with the cargo emblem on it. That's the thumbnail for the mod. Let's see what we got going on here. So I have all the realistic Metrolink routes. They're already pre-routed, so if you, once this map is on the workshop, you can download them. And all you have to do is build the train, click which route. So I'll kind of run you through the different Metrolink routes. So, let's start up here. We have the light blue Metrolink route, which is called the 91/Paris line. Okay, so the 91 freeway is this one right here. It runs through Yorba Linda and all the way up to Corona and all that. So this is the Metrolink line that runs between LA and the Inland Empire, which for us ends at Arlington, but includes Corona. So basically just runs back and forth, east to west. Okay, we go down here to the IEOC line. So what this does is it runs from Arlington through Corona, Yorba Linda, and then it makes a left-hander. Whoop, goes down all the way to Oceanside and then back. So we have one that goes east to west, and then one that turns down the coast. And then finally, the last Metrolink route is in between LA and once again Oceanside. From Oceanside to San Diego's coaster. Pretty simple. They don't have any routes. Speaking of coaster, we don't have any coaster units, mods. So I used a BNSD40, whatever. Now the Surfliner, which is the Amtrak, runs from San Diego to LA with every stop in between. That's the Surfliner, and that's what I kind of modeled this after, was the idea of the Amtrak Pacific Surfliner. So we got our auto train drifting downhill. How many goods do we got out there right now? Okay, so by the time he gets back, it'll probably be a full train next time, so that'll be good. We got a coaster waiting with one of my new reskins that'll be available on the workshop here sometime soon. Does anybody know why my reskins covers the original mod? I'd really like to know. Seems to be a glitch, and I've gotten one complaint about it, so. Anyways, I think it turned out pretty good. I just gotta number it. Everything else is good to go. My dad hired out for the Southern Pacific. He still works for the Union Pacific. So I grew up around the Southern Pacific when I was really young, so just always liked the railroad, liked their paint scheme. So a lot of my mods will be SP. It just is what it is, you know. I worked for the UP, wasn't a big fan, but I'll make some UP stuff too. Got the Solana Beach station. Oh, thank you, my goods yards. I appreciate it. Yeah, it helps when you've been in a lot of rail yards, and in America we have some massive rail yards, so I have a lot of different rail yard variations or templates kind of in my mind that I can build. So I try to change it up from map to map, unless I'm trying to make a real yard how it actually is. But when I'm just kind of building, oh, 73 out of 95, not bad. Hey, we're in the green zone here on the money for this route, so that's good to know. I like that. We are in Oceanside right here. Camp Pendleton Marine Corps base over there. See how our ship's doing. Hey, did we get one in? Has this one got anything on it? That's got a little bit of goods. Alright. Let's see how the other ships are doing. We got another one coming in. That one's loaded up pretty good. How about this one? Yeah, not bad. Got some food. We'll do another one just so we can get some frequency. Everything kind of revolves around these ships on this map, so about 5 to 10 times bigger than ours. Yeah. Well, we have a huge country. That's a big part of it. So, need a lot of freight, and the railroads in particular were a huge reason why this country is what it is these days. So it's needed. I mean, I worked out of the West Colton classification yard for a bit, and that thing's 7 miles long, and at its widest is probably about 90 tracks wide. And it needs all those and probably more sometimes. So, yeah, pretty cool. Alright. Do we have anything on the 91? Let's see. I need to go to, forget how to change it. No, we don't got anything yet on there. So we're at the SP 4th Street Yard. Got some buildings forming over buildings. It's pretty sweet. It'll give it more of that LA grungy beatdown feel, I guess. But never went to this yard. There's a bunch of haulers on the UP. So you'll get like the West Colton and the LA hauler, and they'll come through here and drop off and pick up cars. Then go back around to West Colton every day. Yeah, 90 tracks. I think the bowl, so we have hump yards. West Colton was a hump yard, and in the bowl where the cars are humped into, I want to say that was 60, 70 tracks wide, and then we had a car repair facility and another miniature bowl that they would hump out of order cars into, which would probably add another 10 to 15 tracks on top of that. So yeah. And then we have a bunch of runaround tracks, so you can get around the yard without being congested. So total, yeah, probably about 90 wide, 85, 90 wide. It was pretty nuts. I think it'd be cool in this game if you can give trains certain priority, right? Like, this train would have a very low priority compared to this Metrolink right here. Especially on this route, where it's heavy passenger, not a whole lot of freight. If you can make the freight trains like the lowest priority possible, that would add a lot of realism to it. They probably wouldn't go anywhere because they'd just be parked all the time, but train priority I think would be pretty cool. Got our auto train rolling through. Anglo-Saxon, are you a fan of American railroads? Like, are you pretty knowledgeable of them? Like, how do you stand on that stuff? I always find it interesting how it's kind of, you know, like Americans like American railroads and Europeans like European railroads, which I understand that's what we grow up around and what we see. But how is that over there? Is there a lot of interest in American railroading among train enthusiasts, or how's that go? The game needs better signaling. Yeah, I agree. They can certainly do better stuff. I figured out a pretty good system, but it's not flawless. Like this, got a one directional signal, so we keep the traffic on one train. It would be nice though if you could have double track and maybe one track is like main one, and you know, trains use a specific track unless there's things coming up, then the double track gets utilized. I don't know. Just trying to think out loud. Yeah, not really done American game. Yeah, that's what I figured. Yeah, it's understandable. Like, I've never really been that interested in any of the European stuff, whether it's the way they look or just any kind of aspects of that, so it's understandable. They're much different from each other, so that's kind of cool at least. How's this one doing? Oh, now we're in debt. Uh-oh. It'll catch back up. You usually have 500 to 600 plus mods on each map. Oh, buddy. My computer would have a heart attack. Luckily, well, unfortunately I should say, there's not a whole lot of American mods compared to European mods for this game, so, or else I probably would have that many too. Now we're back in the green. Okay, what else should we do? We really just need some more ships to come in, but I'm trying to think of what other trains we can start doing. Down here, I thought it'd be a great idea to have a, you know, trucking station basically right next to the rail yard, so they're connected, so that's cool. So this will be kind of your base for if you want to truck cargo to these different cities. Be through this rail yard, so hey, this rail yard actually has purpose, like in real life. Crazy. Um, so I might get some trucks going, run a manifest train down here, so we can get some cargo. A stack train would be the best. They actually don't run any intermodal trains down to San Diego. It's all manifest or auto trains. Um, but I'll probably run a stack train just because you can fit more cargo at a time. And I don't want to run a bunch of freights down here because we got all the passenger going. Let's see, 181. Alright, that's coming up pretty good. But definitely need to get some cargo going. I made a little branch right here so we can feed San Diego. So I might get that going, and then we'll run something from Commerce Yard down to here. So let's do that while we're at it. So we got stone. So I made a pretty unique yard job. It covers this station, that station, comes to the yards, covers this, that, and that. So it covers, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 industries on one yard job, and it can do it all by itself, even with these different dead-end tracks as well. So that took a little bit of thinking because I had to route it correctly, but I did it. So let's see what I got here. This will be a good test to see if my mod is reskinning everything in sight that's a GP38. Oh, it doesn't look like we have the other GP38 pack. That's kind of weird. So what are we going to use? We'll use a GP60. Why not? So need some cargo. We'll use some, yeah, we'll use some hide cubes so they can carry more. Couple of them. Couple of them. Let's see, we need some fuel, some steel. Maybe one of them. And yeah, one of them. So we'll start with that for now. So this will be the Venus F San Diego yard job. So now what we need is to make a train that runs to San Diego so that it can feed it with some freight. So I think what I'll do actually is I'll run it out of here so that it has some time to build up some cargo up there in LA and Commerce. Wait for this autosave, good lord. Might do a reskin of this same paint scheme, but just make it look a whole lot better than that. The reds, it's a good mod. I'm not trying to diss on whoever made it, but I think it could be a little better. Alright, so let's make a train. Diesel. Anglo-Saxon. What'd you like running better, diesel or electric? Because everything we run is diesel up here for the most part. We'll use some stack trains. We'll break the realism a bit so that we can have some more cargo. Alright, so we got the easy one. Venus F San Diego sub. Sub, which stands for subdivision, which is what every rail line is called in the United States. So like I used to go over the Yuma subdivision or the Mojave subdivision. Electric, you preferred electric locomotives. Why did you prefer electric over diesel? Were they just more responsive, easier to run? Great mod, these are. So we're in San Diego at the moment. We're going to start hauling some freight to the San Diego BNSF yard. Need to start getting some trucks going too. We got the BNSF yard job, which services all these different industries down here. We even got the San Diego International Airport. Yeah. Wow. I did not think people would be coming to Old Town to get on a train because there's not a whole lot of cities nearby. Like, what does it really cover? Nothing. Alright, let me guess. Hey, it's at that same spot again. Nice. What is up with this train, man? It's slowly worked its way over. It's incredible. Incredible. I've driven mainly diesels though, yeah. I asked you earlier, I think freight or passenger. I got a really bad memory. Yeah, passenger. Alright, I didn't want to ask you the same question twice. That'd be kind of stupid. Hey, we actually got some cargo for the 4th Street locals, so now this thing will get going. Nice. Got the SD9s working here. This was really at the end of their life for the SP. When the UP took over 96, they pretty much, I think they just retired them on the spot, basically, like right away. I'm sure they were pretty worn out and beat up. Probably as worn out and beat up as you can make a locomotive. So, what do we got over here in Commerce? So if you see here, got BNSF Commerce Intermodal Yard, and then I got a Manifest Yard, and I put them next to each other so they feed each other, so their cargo crosses with each other, so there's no issues with a separation between types of trains. It's just mainly to make it more realistic is why I separate the yards themselves. So over here we have, I haven't really touched on this, the Union Pacific's Manifest Commerce Yard. They even have an intermodal facility over here. I've actually been down here a couple times. Got a couple of industries like 4th Street Yard that they got a service. So I think we'll get the UP rolling a little bit. Let's see. I don't have a station over here. This is the one place I didn't have a station. Nice. Alright, so it's starting to get going little by little. So that's good to see. Man, LA is growing. Before we know it, you won't even see the ground. Alright, so what I need is a manifest train. We already did that. We made a stack train at San Diego. Alright. So you can see there's a lot going on here, so I'm just trying to keep it, just trying to rein it in so I know what I'm doing. Got the Los Angeles International Airport. It's not in its realistic location. It's more like over here-ish. If it were to be on the map. But because of the freeways and everything, that was the only spot I had room. So, there it is. There it is. Alright, we got our auto train returning to San Diego. Does it fit in this siding? Let's see. It does. Wow. It's probably about a 3,500 foot siding. Orange County line. See, the earth is flat. Look at it. Just kidding. Alright, we got an inbound ship. How much cargo do we have? It should be enough. Yeah, that'll be a full ship. That's one problem with this game is the performance. Yeah, once you get these big cities going, it's all downhill from there, pretty much. Good friend of mine, the other half of this channel, we haven't been able to really play together for a long time. Waiting for an update on Railroads Online. We'll start playing that game again together. But yeah, whenever cities get big on his transport fever, he has a good computer too. It gets laggy and crashes, so. The mini cargo mod. Okay, so what I used for the imports from China, that's what we'll call it. It's the Freestyle Industries. Pretty much invisible, place them down anywhere. I really like these. That's how I built my industries. Is I use a building, do whatever scenery or place objects. Then I lay a piece of that empty track that's a station, but it doesn't have any platforms or anything, so it just looks like a standard track. And then I place the Freestyle Industry right next to it, so it acts and looks like a functioning industry instead of having like your typical station with a cargo platform and all that crap. So just a better way to do it. Oh no. You done did it. That's hilarious. Sick drift. But I don't want to complain too much because, oh hey, this one's German. I don't want to complain too much because this has the most capacity, and I like that. Alright, let's see if we need another ship once this thing loads up. Time for an autosave. If you haven't already liked the video, it'd be much appreciated. It helps the YouTube algorithms, or however you say that word. Make sure to check out some of our other videos once this live stream is over. We got a lot of stuff, a lot of different games. From different train simulators to Railroads Online to this game to some military games. We got it going on. Capacity, yeah, especially with the ships. Capacity on the ships are very low. Load her up. I like how they included the rescue boat. Every time I see this, I think of that movie. Well, it was actually a real event. I shouldn't say movie. Where the Somali pirates took the ship crew hostage just off Somalia. I always think of that when I see these little things. It's very similar to that from what I remember. Yeah, things loaded up. Alright, let's see. Do we have another boat coming soon? We do. Alright, so I think we got an adequate amount of ships to bring in cargo. Looks like it's starting to pick up pretty good now. A lot of goods. Goods over here. As long as we don't get into the red over here. I start you out with a little over $4 billion, which seems like, hey, that's easy. It's not. A lot of vehicles to buy. You got to get the ships going. You got to route everything. So you can always play it on Sandbox 2 to get it going really well. But, yeah, it's not easy. But I didn't want to make it too hard either, because that's not fun. Dana Point. San Clemente. Got these rocks going on. It's a preventative from the ocean coming up too high on a stormy day. This very hard mode? No, this is easy mode. Yeah. It's just, it's such a big concept, I think, that it just seems like it's harder than the level that it's on. 95 out of 95, yeah! Still in the red though, till we stop right here. Cha-ching. Global warming, yeah. The US just had the coldest winter in the last 50 years. Fun fact. This time last year, Montana, it was already nice 70-degree days, and this year we've only seen one 70-degree day, and it's been raining non-stop. And it snowed up until about a week or two ago. And we don't live in the cold part of Montana either. We live in the mountains, where it's a lot warmer. So I feel bad for all the people in eastern Montana where it's flat. They're probably still thawing out as we speak. I like these signals. They're waypoints, so they don't really work. They're just for looks. At least that's how I use them. Coaster's still not doing too good. It seems like the Amtrak is getting most of the action. Yeah, we got passenger after passenger train right now. Probably have enough Amtrak and coaster trains. Probably could add a few more Metrolink trains on the different routes, but I think we're pretty good when it comes to that. Now we just need to get more freight going. Yeah, downtown San Diego's looking pretty good right now. Starting to look like how it does now. Back in 95, there wasn't a whole lot going on down there compared to now. It's really exploded over the last 15 years, 20 years. How long have you spent on this map? Since I started this stream. I just got done editing it yesterday, and today was the first time I've gotten the chance to play it myself. This is very much like a test map, just to see if there's anything else I need to shore up before I release it. So far so good. There's a few little details like signals I need to make. Couple signals make it one way. And that's about it though. It seems to be running good with everything I've placed down. It's just a matter of getting it out. So It's going pretty good. This is our San Diego yard job. Tried to add a little bit of scenery to the port. If I spent like a good month on this map, it could be really detailed and um, it'd be next level. But I'm not the best at when it comes to super detailed and detailing a map over time. My strength is the mountains, the terrain, the realism of the railroads from my background. So I make it look good, and then if people want to further detail it or critique it to whatever they want, I'm all for that. I purposely leave things a little empty sometimes so that people can make it their own. So I thought this was kind of cool. This is an actual industry down there, so I want to include it. But I thought this would be neat. So we got a station here, and you have to deliver steel so that the ships can be built, or at least that's the idea. And down here we got a little bit more stuff just for the heck of it. Let's go see how things are going in LA. There's our auto train coming down. Actually, let's see what goes on with him for a bit. How much do we got over here? Oh, we're still good. We still got plenty of room for that train. So yeah, we've literally just been touching on the coastline. There's still a lot more you can do out here, out this way. A lot more cities in real life too, all in this area. I mean, it's all pretty much cities and stuff. So you can add cities if you want, or when this new spring update finally comes out, then it'll be perfect for new cities to spawn. Interested to see what goes on with that. Looks like he's coming to a stop. We got somebody ahead of him. Still full, nice. Let's see what's going on with the freight situation. We don't got anything in commerce at the moment. Let's see what we got coming out. Nothing for this one coming out. It's got some food. Very little. This one's got some good cargo. Yeah, some goods. Yeah, from what I've seen, the cities spawn in the update as well. So that should be interesting. I hope there's a option where you can disable it. Because like a map like this, I don't need any more cities to spawn, man. They just need to get bigger. Same thing with industries. Like industries, it would depend, but I do like the idea of spawning in cities, industries on most maps, just not like this one or the ones I create. Because I try to make them as complete as possible. Yeah. It's a confused locomotive right there. Starting to look like LA. See, food and brick. Alright. Let's see, we got any ships coming in? Nope, got one going out. He's loaded up pretty good. And we should have another one. Yep, he's loading up. Alright, so that's still going good. New locomotive? Yeah. Yeah, I finally figured out how to reskin locomotives. So, this is one I'm currently working on. And one side I haven't completed yet, so there you go. I gotta complete this right side of this unit. But besides that, I'm pretty happy with how it looks. This one took a lot of effort. I was very meticulous with it, and I think it shows. It'll be a C44-9W. Also, what else am I working on? Pretty much have a GP38 and SP paint as well done. I just got to do a few little things to it. And then I think I got a few other projects. Gonna be coming out with some SP stuff, but with some UP patches, so that'd be kind of cool. Because even to this day, there's some Southern Pacific units still roaming around, but they all have a UP patch on them, so I'll make some stuff like that too. Yeah, I'll publish it. I'm just working on it. One in my collection, yeah, for sure, man. I've been trying to figure out how to get Transport Fever 1 mods into Transport Fever 2. I know there's a converter which I learned how to use, but I think the converter's outdated, so it hasn't been working. Because there's like, let's say SD45s, SD50s, mods for Transport Fever 1 of certain locomotives that we don't have for Transport Fever 2. So I'd really like to get my hands on those so I could reskin different types of locomotives. I'd really like to make some SP SD40 M-2s, but I need a SD45 body to do that, so hopefully I can figure that out at some point. Yeah. Locomotives with half liveries, yeah. Having an issue where my reskins, even though I made it a completely different mod technically, the game is recognizing it as the original mod. So if I click, let's go to buy vehicles. So we got the Santa Fe version right here. So this is the original. Now if I buy this, it'll come out with my reskin on it for some reason. So I'm trying to figure out what the deal is with that. And here we go with this again. Holy moly. These trains are confused, man. Yeah, TF1 to TF2 conversions again, yeah. Oh, I wish I could figure out how to get that converter to work for my computer, man. I just can't seem to do it. I do it correctly, because it shows up, everything shows up. It's just when I turn on the converter and then the mod, it doesn't process. It doesn't do the conversion. So I don't know what that's about. So we got our San Diego train here. I'm going to turn it off because there's no freight for some reason, and it'd be stupid to send it back empty because there's nothing to pick up down there. Yeah, here's something that is very weird. Is, you know, you could just go straight and then cross over. You don't need to cross over, then cross over, then cross over, but hey, whatever. Let's see, is there anything? Any takers? Found doesn't work for everything. Yeah, I've heard that too, but it must not work for anything I want. Jeez. Because I've tried a whole lot of different mods, man. And not one of them would go. So, I don't know. I know there's a way you can go into the coding and edit it and all this crap, but that's a little above me for right now. I'm not a computer whiz. Wish I was. So we're starting to get to where we need to add another ship, but it's still going pretty good at the moment. Yeah. There's a few little tweaks where if I knew how to do it, I would tweak this game. Like the routing and all that good stuff. But I try not to think too hard because this game, for what it is, the concept behind this game, it's pretty flawless. In my opinion. I feel like a lot of other people that would try to make this type of game would fail. Yeah, I'm more of a hardware. Yeah, I'm more of a hardware than a software guy too. Yeah. So let's see, is this thing? Yeah, it's made some money. Not bad. Not a whole lot, but hey, who cares? This isn't made to be like my maps aren't supposed to be a financial success. Most of them are, if you do it correctly. They're more for realism. They're more depicting real life, whether it be the routes or the cities or the track themselves. So, if you've ever wanted to run the realistic railroads of Southern California, that's kind of what I do. That's what I make. So, finding buildings can be frustrating. Yeah, I haven't even tried to mod any buildings. I feel like that'd just about kill me. Sticking with the locomotive reskins for now, maybe some rail cars. I'm actually used to reskin a lot of locomotives for like trains a new era. So that's why I was able to, once I figured out how to do it in this game, I could use the same technique to reskin locomotives from doing that. So that's the only reason why I'm able to even do the locomotives. So I like these old back alley kind of industries. I try to make these type of things in a city setting, like an old industrial area with these tracks that come back in here. Weird camera. I like how they're sitting backwards too. Let's not look at where we're going. It's not important. So yeah, really happy with how this old industrial area kind of turned out. This would be like the old industrial area of LA is what I tried to recreate here. Pretty cool shot of it coming down the alley. Then you got the city in the background, and the LA River. It's even got an EOT on it. How about that? That's awesome. Tried to make another old city, but it looks like the city's taking it over. Whoops. But it is developing quite nicely. We're starting to morph together into what is now Southern California. Got Union Station. Been there once. Took a train ride from Seattle to LA. That was pretty sweet. Got nothing coming there. Got a ship coming in. So this map will come out either tonight or tomorrow night. There's about a little over 50 mods, so I try to keep everything simple, as few mods as possible without sacrificing some realism or some things that are necessary. So just a heads up, there'll be 50 mods. I'll put them all on the workshop so you can see what you need to get. Let's take a trip down to San Diego. We haven't been there in a bit. But try to keep it simple. Try to keep it easy for you guys. Here's San Diego. Got our yard job to nowhere, hauling freight, you know, invisible freight. Got downtown, Midway. This is supposed to be the Santa Fe Depot here in downtown. This was the closest thing I could get to finding a station that looked like it, so there you go. It's actually starting to look like where the station actually sits now, because there's all these high-rise apartments all right here, and then you walk down the street this way, come down this road, and then blam, you're at the boardwalk where you got the Maritime Museum, and then the USS Midway, retired aircraft carrier, that's a museum, and then you have a bunch of yachts and a bunch of billionaires that are down there hanging out. 151. I think I might need a new keyboard. There it goes. This thing's been cut out on me lately. Yeah, I'm looking forward to converting those AMD SD70 BNSF packs. Yeah. If you're able to do that, let me know. I'd like to do some reskins on those, but I don't think the converter. I'll have to try again. I don't know if the converter can do that, at least mine. I'd really like to get the SD70 pack off of, yeah, confiscated Russian yachts. Yeah, pretty much. There's a ton of Russian yachts in San Diego that are probably not there anymore. But I would really like to get my hands on the original SD70 pack from Transport Fever 1 with all the UP stuff. That would be awesome. It'd be nice if the monitor that came up with that could just rework it and release it, or allow somebody else to do it, because it seems like a lot of them are pretty protective of even their Transport Fever 1 mods, which I understand. I mean, I don't want to rip somebody off or anything, but it's like, man, there's a lot of US equipment that lacks on Transport Fever 2 compared to Transport Fever 1, and we need to get it back on the Transport Fever 2. Oh, Metrolink's not doing the best, but Amtrak sure is. Gecko 94, man, if you could get the SD50s or the SD45 pack, converted somehow, that would be amazing. Then we can make some good SP stuff like the SD40Ms and 45s. That would be nice. I think it'd be cool if they had the passenger cars where they run in reverse and it has the cab in the passenger car, and if it actually ran in reverse with that, that would be pretty neat. Alright, so we finally have some stuff. No, load up more, dummy. Oh yeah? Well, we're gonna flip you around, bud. We're not leaving until we have all the freight. Yeah, I know, I could have a much shorter train, but that doesn't look cool. So, we're gonna keep it long. See what we got going on down here. Some construction, some goods. Got one coming in or leaving? Leaving. This one's coming in. Oh yeah, those the lights that whatever modder used for those locomotives, yeah, those are. I feel like I'm driving at night when I use that mod in this game. Maybe I can try to go in there and change that. That would be nice. That one's leaving, okay. It's getting there. It's starting to get pretty full. One thing I like about what Transport Fever is doing is that they're keeping, I mean, it's been 3 years now since this game's been out, from what I can remember. And they keep coming out with these updates and at least doing something to keep this game going. Because I don't really see a new need for a new game. I mean, there's a lot of tweaks, a little tweaks here and there, but you know they got a good thing going with this one. Especially with the modding community, I feel like every time they come out with a new game, you kind of got to start over. This game's obviously a huge upgrade from Transport Fever 1, so I like that. But if they were to come out with the third one, it's like, how much better could they really get? I mean, obviously there's a lot of things they could tweak here and there, but I feel like the meat of it's pretty good. I would really like to see AI businesses, so other transportation businesses that you compete with, kind of like a railroad tycoon. I feel like that would take this game to a whole nother level if you had other companies to compete with. Um, for those of you that played like the railroad tycoons from back in the day, you know, they had rival companies that you competed with, and then you could buy those companies. That would be really neat. Another thing I'd like to see is like maybe custom paint jobs for like your equipment. Like you can kind of customize it and it be like fairly decent. Not too cheesy. Those are some other things I'd like to see. Yeah, without the modding community, I would have given up on it. Yeah, same here. The mods is what keeps this game alive, and and I think they realize that, so that's good. Amtrak's nice and full, coming into Carlsbad. Yeah, your own logo would be cool, and even like your own paint designs on locomotives, cars, trucks, you know, be pretty neat. And then still have the mods for if you want to have a realistic, you know, Union Pacific stuff or whatever real railroads that you would like to have. Alright, let's go back to Los Angeles and see how that's going. Yeah, 4 loaded cars. We're rolling. Hopefully this next time it comes back, there's a lot more freight for it. My half and half locomotives, because I'm not done with them yet, in case you just jumped on. Oh, about a week or so ago, we started our own Patreon. That seems to be what everybody does these days. So, heck, I figured I'd do it too. So, if you want to check out our Patreon, I kind of update what I'm working on, whether it be maps. I'm going to start posting what reskins I'm doing and mods for this game. In the future, when Trains 2022 comes out, I'll probably be reskinning locomotives for that game as well. So, if you want to be up to date on what we're doing, go check out our Patreon. And always make sure to subscribe. We appreciate all the likes and subscribes and comments, all that good stuff. The bigger we get, the more I will be doing this type of stuff. And oh wow, look at this traffic. I grew up in Southern California, so I tell you what, I don't miss this crap. No, sir. Got a lot of goods coming in, but we're not having like a equally distributed amount of like cargo so far. There's something lacking, and it's because I need to get all these other trains going as well. I'm just trying to find a balance. We've been kind of floating around about the same amount of money for a while. Trying to see if we can get the passenger going or the freight going a little bit so I could save up some money so I could start doing these locals and switchers. Because that's really what's going to create more cargo for everything else. Got the LA River. For once, I actually liked these older brick bridges because by the LA River, there's a ton of these old style bridges. And for once, they weren't annoying. So it worked out good. So I think what we'll do here is we'll get some UP stuff going. So first, new line. Let's go here. We'll start long, come back to short. Yes, I know, I'm not done yet. Then finally one down there. So that'll be our UP Commerce Yard Job. So that's what I'll name it right now. Blam! Alright. So I need to also do here. To here. This will be our UP Commerce hauler. Haulers are trains that they don't go very far. They just basically, it's not a local, it's not a yard job, but it's not a run-through train from point A to point B over a far distance. The hauler's just a train that could actually go for quite a ways, but its main job is to basically bring freight from a big yard, let's say classification yard, or in this case the port, to a smaller yard so that the locals and yard jobs in that area has the abilities to have the freight and all that good stuff. Wow, we're really hanging out. 3,000-foot trains are not ideal for this map, apparently. Alright, so the first thing we need to do is we need to create a UP hauler. One thing that'd be nice is to have some standard nose UP units, because this modder only made the snoot nose, as they call it, or the long nose. And what do we have over here as far as freight? Looking at my peripheral. Okay, so we can get away with box cars and grain cars. So since it's the UP, we'll have some UP high boxes. A couple TTX. Let's add in a few more box cars. Oh boy, another problem. Let's add a couple of these just in case. And let's go up here. There's actually some Union Pacific. Hey, look at that, hopper cars. So we'll add that. We'll buy it. We will go down here to UP Commerce Hauler. Let me take a wild guess. Yep. It's this one junction right here, so it's giving me all the problems. Think I just might have figured out what the problem is. So down here is where the problem starts. These crossovers. See that? So these you can't put one directional because it's coming in and out of here. It's like a yard. The problem is that we need everything to kind of come out of one track. So let's make this second one one directional too. So everything comes in on two tracks, everything leaves on one. So that'll fix this problem back here. Yep, so everything in, everything out. Alright, and it's already set up there. What else could we do better over here? See, it's like, bro, just go straight. Just go straight. It's alright, you can go straight. Zoom out. So actually, I should probably reverse what I'm doing here. Everything out this way. So let's pause this really quick. Make this. And this guy's already through the signal, so that works out perfect. So I'll make this like that. Basically just transferring everything over. There we go. So the reason why I did that is, yeah, waypoints. Yeah, I know, I really try to do everything I can in the signals. The reason why I did that is so it's not constantly crossing over itself, so I flipped the direction of traffic, so now they'll actually use at least two tracks now. So now it won't clog up these crossovers, because before, this guy's taking up all three tracks when he pulls out of here. So by changing this, now he'll only take up one or two, so other trains can come into the port as well with no issues. See that? This pink line is not in use at the moment, so we don't have to worry about that. But I believe I will, in fact, put into use right now. Oh, we got a UP. Our useless Pacific train pulling out. So now what I need to do is, or else they'll have no freight. Let's go to diesel. Well, guys, it's 1996, so the SP is about to go bye-bye. So we'll use a couple of my new mods. Ignore the fact that this one's facing forward. It's reverse. I promise. We'll go over here, and then you guys can see this brand new mod. It's up on the workshop. These SP GP40Xs. They came out really well, so I'm happy with that. We'll throw in another boxcar. Hot cube. Let's go with CSX this time. And then we'll go with, yeah, we'll go with some hoppers. Yeah, it's got one more. UP Commerce Yard Job Blam. Unable to find a path to stop. Oh, that's right. We don't have a connector. Huh. Alright, so I'm going to have to buy this out of a different yard. So we'll sell that. I know what I was thinking. I should have done it right here. That's the easy one. I try to place stations in convenient locations, but sometimes I don't use the right one. I've noticed a few mods have disappeared off the workshop. Like, there are some awesome reskins for this 50-foot boxcar that disappeared. So I don't know what that's all about. Yeah, we got TTX this time. And we'll do like 3 hoppers. Alright, so now the UP hauler will deliver cargo to Commerce, because there's a reason now. Oh, that's funny. So I'm working on a different reskin of the GP40X, and it's recognizing that as well. I really need to figure out what's going on. Because that ain't gonna work. So I need a couple signals here to protect this side of the junction. So what this is it's an actual pulling of mods. Yeah, do you know what I have to do so that it doesn't, like, the reskin isn't for the same mods? Because if I were to get a Santa Fe GP40X, the original mod, this is what would show up on it, and I have no clue why, and they're 2 completely different mods. Want your reskin? Yeah, so this is a real unit. Now, only the nose and really, yeah, basically the nose of it is complete. The rest of it I haven't done yet. It was this old beat up SP GP40, was a GP40P2, so similar to an X. It had these flared radiators, but then it continued a little bit longer. So this was a real unit before it was repainted in the yellow, but it looked like hell. It was all beat up and worn out. So I thought that'd be cool. Have some really weathered SP equipment from its last days on the UP. So that'll be coming out, and I'm going to do a bunch of patches like this. Patches meaning when the Union Pacific took over the Southern Pacific, before they repainted the unit, they would put their numbers on it. They'd put their logo on it. They would most likely leave the majority of the SP paint. So, yeah, I'll be doing this type of stuff with all my SP mods as well. But I really need to figure out how to get these mods to not reskin the other mods. I'm one of the few Italians I know who loves American trains more than the trains of his country. Yeah, that is very rare. From what I found, typically Europeans like European stuff, and same with Americans liking American stuff. So that's cool, man. Really happy with how the nose has turned out. The top of this is pretty much complete. I might do a little bit more texturing on it to try to make it look weathered, but this side view of this nose right here, I got a side view of this unit in real life, and I cut out the nose and I pasted it. So this is what the side of the real unit actually looked like. Same with the front. The front was painted fresh gray, and then the side nose was just the original faded paint. So I try to use real skins if I can. If there's a certain shot, typically I need a shot of both sides of the nose and both sides of the whole body. And if I can find that, then I'll use a real picture to reskin these units. Especially if it's a good quality picture, because then it'll look legit. It's a real unit. It's a picture of the real unit on a real model, so I definitely try to do that as well. Hard to do, but it's worth it. The walkways are the same gray as on the front. Not sure why it did that, but that's what I got so far. So that'll head over here to Commerce. Alright, we're starting to get some more freight coming out on this little Santa Fe haulers, guess what I'll call it. So that's good to see. We got a bunch of freight. Not a bunch, but we got some freight waiting for the return train to San Diego. So that's cool. Starting to get going. We're still hovering around the same amount of money roughly. I've still been buying stuff here and there, so if I hadn't bought some stuff, we'd probably be in the green a little bit. So that's cool. Got our auto train going back down again. What I should do is have this stop in the San Diego yard, going this way, going southbound, so then it could deliver at least some goods, and then it can continue to load up with goods and then go on back. I did that because just congestion. Yeah, the locomotives in America are way different than from the European ones. That's the truth right there. Just the height of them alone. What's funny is that you'll find the same engines that locomotives have in America. And European locomotives are like Australian or whatnot. But oh, this must be a little bit too long. It's hanging out. But it's in a totally different body. So it's pretty weird. It's pretty weird. Okay, so problem is that it needs to go into this spur and it's too long. So we're gonna downsize it, which we don't need that many cars anyway, so it's not a huge deal. So I'll get rid of the TTX in this. Let's see if that'll work. Nope, we need to get rid of one more car. Okay, now we need to get rid of an engine. And does it work now? Just barely. How about if we flip it around? There we go. Oh, got our hauler coming in. How about that? see, I'm gonna change this to this outside track once it leaves. Alrighty. Well, I think kind of done all I could as far as testing. I'm very happy with how everything's turned out. A few little tweaks. I think we're ready to go. Look for this map to be out on the workshop within the next couple days. Go check out my profile on Steam if you want to see my mods. I've got a couple locomotive reskins on there now. Got a bunch of maps from over the years. And yeah, we appreciate it if you subscribe, like, share, all that good stuff. A lot more content to come, so stay tuned. And we'll be doing some more live streams of this game, some train simulators, all sorts of different stuff. So anyways, guys, thanks for watching. It's awesome to talk to you like always, and we'll check you guys later.